Yeah, that's right. They're in the last 3 minutes of play. The spectators are wild with excitement. Okay, I'll stand by and give you a flash just as soon as it's over.
All right. And you better hold the presses. It'll only be a few minutes now. Now listen, George, take this. During the last minutes of play, the spectators sat breathless with excitement as the opposing teams battled fiercely for supremacy. It was one of the most bitterly fought contests in the history of local sports circles. Yeah, that's it.
Now, in about 3 minutes, folks, the game will have come to an end. It has been a great fight, both teams showing unusual stamina and perseverance. Mrs. Mott and Mrs. Smith are in the lead, and when the closing gun is fired in just a few minutes, these remarkable players will have finished the longest bridge tournament on record. It started just 3 months ago today. Stand by for final score. It's a crucial moment. Mrs. Smith is undecided whether to play her ace or her king. She finessed.
I hope you're glad when this assignment's over. I haven't had a bit of sleep in the last 3 months.
I've got to interview Mrs. Smith's husband. He'll probably have something to say if his wife wins.
And don't forget, folks, this play-by-play description is coming to you through the courtesy of the Himmelhofer Cheese Company.
Mr. Smith, my paper would like your opinion on the blend system as compared to the Gilbertson system of contract bridge.
Bridge! Bridge! Oh, I haven't heard anything but bridge for 3 months. What I want is my wife. I want food. I want ham and eggs and roast beef. Oh, look at this kitchen. Look at that sink. Why, it's so full of dirty dishes I can't even find a place to peel potatoes. Another hour of this and I'll be a madman. Oh, it's been going on for 3 months.
Now, Mr. Smith, it'll all be over in a few minutes.
No, I don't know whether I can control myself for a few minutes more. Oh. Somebody must have trumped an ace.
No, that's the finish gun.
Is it all over?
Sure.
Oh, what a relief.
Just a moment, folks. Folks, at the end of this 3 months tournament, the score stands exactly even. And the judges have decided that the contestants will play for another 3 months. We are continuing this broadcast of the play-by-play description of the greatest bridge tournament in history, in which Mrs. Mott and Mrs. James defend the blends contract system against the Gilbertson system, as played by Mrs. Lane and Mrs. Kelly. During the last hand, in which Mrs. Mott and Mrs. James increased their lead over the opposing team to more than 60,000.
I warn you, woman. Don't antagonize me. Don't touch that thing I've stood up.
Well, if I can't play in the tournament, I can at least listen to it.
Oh, yeah?
Jack and 10 of hearts, and the
Give me
ace,
that record.
Jack and play of clubs.
I'll give it to you.
James' two-heart takeout was soundly warranted. A terrific argument ensued between the players, but the judge decided the matter should be dropped. Now, don't forget, folks, this broadcast is coming to you with the courtesy of the Himmelhofer Cheese Company. And now, on with the game. Mrs. Mott has bid her hand up to a small slam. Oh, a grand slam! Mrs. Mott bid but two no trumps.
You mean that radio?
To the character of Mrs.
That
James'
radio
heart takeout.
down.
The next move was undecided, and so the hand was passed. Don't forget, if the The Himmelhofer is the best cheese in town, but with no greater probability for game at heart than at no trump. It's no trump. The probable quick value of Mrs. James' hand in support of no trump, obtained by doubling its quick value. Probable quick value played at her own declaration. Heart. This is turning out to be a great quick game. You stop! The fourth best card from her
You better quit that fooling around. You're going to hurt
Dummy
yourself.
going down. Mrs. Mott stops to consider to which hand, the dummy or her own. She should win the first trick. From the rule of 11, Mrs. Mott knew that the queen of diamonds in the dummy would, if played, hold the trick. And as the only finesse that would have to be taken to Mrs. Kelly's hand would be the queen of spades. Mrs. Mott decides to win the initial diamond lead with the queen of spades in the dummy to leave the six of spades and finesse the queen of spades while she still held diamond protection. The queen of spades winning, Declare led the tray of hearts and finessed the queen of hearts. Mrs. Lane won the king of hearts and led the five of diamonds. Mrs. Kelly won that Mrs. James was now afraid of diamonds over tipsy. And for want of anything better, let's Declare won with the king of spades in dummy, and afterward took in the ace of spades and the six of spades. Spades certainly seemed to be working overtime.
Police station? Well, come quick. My husband's about to bury me. What? No, I ain't dead yet.
Mrs. Kelly won with the queen of hearts and returned the eight of diamonds, which Mrs. Lane won with the ace of diamonds, and Mrs. Kelly won with the four of the same suit. This is a pipe, remarked Mrs. Kelly, as she covered the opponent's play. Gradually, Mrs. Lane and Mrs. Kelly realized they were getting farther and farther in the hole. The principle involved here was that when an original bid suit has been denied by a two-lead trump takeout, such suit, even though in preference to
Oh, I do wish my dear mother was here. Oh, what am I going to do?
What's the matter, Mrs. Smith?
Oh, officers, I'm so glad you're here. I had a little argument with my husband over a bridge game.
Doesn't he play bridge?
No, and he can't understand why anybody else wants to play it. Oh, I'm so unhappy.
Well, don't worry.
That'll be all right, Mrs. Smith.
He might learn to play the game after a while.
You bet I won't hear any more about bridge in this house.
By Mrs. Kelly. Mrs. James bid one spade and Mrs. Lane passed. The bidding on the second round was 2-no trump, pass, and 3-no trump. And until the bids are straightened out, the plays will be all wet. The four. Mrs. Kelly's overcall of one heart was in accord with a minimum of... Mrs. James one spade did deny spades and showed sufficient strength in the three other suits to invite Mrs. James to bid 3-no trump. Mrs. Kelly led the queen of hearts, which Declare refused to win. Mrs. Kelly continued with the jack of hearts, which the Declare won with the king of hearts and led the eight of spades, winning with the dummy's jack of spades. Declare entered her own hand again with the queen of spades and led the seven of spades. Mrs. Kelly still refusing to go with the eight of spades. Declare won with the dummy's queen of spades.
Hey, where is the nearest river?
Right down there under that bridge.
Bridge! Bridge! Nothing but bridge!
Did you ever read Gilbertson?
Gilbert!